Hello, my friends. Welcome to an unexpected sort of tournament report. It's not really tournament, it's actually battle reports. It's 3 battle reports in a row, though. Wow. So this lovely person, who you can see here, right here, is Mo. Gad to his friends. Mo lives in Singapore, but he's been to Clash a few times. And he brought his lovely wife to the UK for a little holiday. And they came to stay at my house. And so I immediately forced him to do nothing but play me at Kings of War. So we played 3 games of Kings of War. And I'd been a bit too busy at work to set up all the studio and everything to record like a battle report. And he was like, well, why don't we just do like your tournament reports and you take pictures? And I was like, all right, you're on. And so we did. Let's get rid of this picture. So I played 3 different armies. I played a different army every time. Just because he was using my borrowed dwarves, and I don't have many dwarves, largely because I've lent most of them to my friend Dan. So they're perhaps not optimal, is what you might say. So we thought we'd just play random armies that I haven't played before, or not played for a long time. And maybe by the time we kind of got to a list that he was happy with dwarves, which he has played quite a bit of, then we could play my tournament army. So the first one is against Undead. This is my Undead army. So I've recently procured, nabbed, stolen. I mean, let's not call it that. An army of Undead. And it's mostly zombies, that army. So, yeah. It's got 2 regiments and 4 hordes of zombies in it, because they're great. 2 hordes of zombie trolls. I think zombie trolls are underrated. They're kind of pricey, I guess, for Undead, but I give one of them Elite and one of them Blade of Slashing. Crush 2, they're fearless, which means trolls, they waver, that's the problem. They hit on 4s, that's the other problem. So, yeah, and they're shambling. A horde of Whites with the Boots of Striding down here. That's basically an absolute Death Star unit, fantastic unit. With Brutal as well, which I probably forget. 3 troops of Revcav, because these are the models I have. I don't actually have a model for a Gorblight. What I have is a big werewolf, so we're using that. But I like a Gorblight. It's a zombie as well, which is fun. Cloak of Death is good. 2 Necromancers, both of whom have Surge and Drain Life, and the Vicious Aura for zombies, obviously, because there's a lot of zombies in this army. 2 Undead Army Standard Bearers for some inspiring, and also for the Wild Charge 2 aura, which means that all of these Revenant Cavalry now charge 18 inches, which is pretty great, isn't it? I think that's pretty great. Great upgrade. And Morgoth the Mandatory, because he's cool. There's just nothing. In fact, he's so cool because he has the ability to Unholy Levitating Archlich, which means he can fly at the double and then cast 2 spells. Which I forgot for this entire game. I did sometimes cast 2 spells, but I absolutely forgot he could fly at the double for the whole game. So nothing like nerfing yourself. Anyway, and this is the first iteration of the Dwarves that we found. So he has 2 regiments of Rangers. One of these regiments of Rangers actually has bows. The other one has a single miniature with bow on it. We were really scraping around. 2 troops of Sharpshooters, because I have them. So we might as well use them, but I only have 2. A horde of Earth Elementals, because I have them. And we gave them the Orb of Towering Presence, or rather I did, because thought it might be fun. A Mastiff Hunting Pack, which I believe is played by a Vermintide regiment in this particular game, with throwing Mastiffs. An Organ Gun, because I have one. A Greater Earth Elemental, because you're seeing the theme here, I have one. A Dwarf Stone Priest with all the upgrades. So Stone Shapers, which allows him to cast Surge and Bane Chant, I think, on the same elemental unit. Radiance of Life. Faber Ironheart, who's great, who I believe in this game is played by a Ratkin Brute. A Dwarf Lord on Large Beast, which in this game is played by a Dwarf Lord on Large Beast, because I have one. And then the Formation, which is mostly played by rats, I believe. So I believe, yeah, the Bullwalkers are both rats, rat units. The Ironclad might also be rats. Let's have a look in a minute. And a Standard Bearer with Loot of Insatiable Darkness, which is played by a Dwarf Standard Bearer. Alright, so not perhaps the most tuned list, but it's pretty meaty, pretty punchy. It's got some decent shooting in there. Let's see how we do. So then, can you believe that's the happiest photograph I took? It's almost as if he's been forced to play me, poor guy. Also, how shabby does well. That's the bad corner of my garage. Sorry, gaming studio. where all the crap is. There's my Gungan army, just loitering on a table because it's broken. Some trees I haven't finished, some trees I haven't repaired. Yeah, so there you go. This is a new piece of scenery that I've made, which is huge and awesome. Anyway, moving on from that, this is the battlefield we're playing on. So we have a hill behind there, this giant piece of terrain, which is height a million billion. Some flat terrain, a wall and a wall, and some height probably 6-ish forest, and a height 4 or height 6 building here. Right, we're playing Plunder. So Plunder, where you have 5 loot tokens down the middle. You select one of them as 2 points, and then your opponent selects one of them as 2 points. So I selected this middle one, and then Mo selected this end one. And then weirdly deployed most of his army this way, which was confusing to me, but there you go. He was very tired. He'd come from Newcastle to Warwick, and then back up to Birmingham, where I live, in the same day. So I think he was a little bit weary. Anyway, I made him play me anyway, because I'm mean. So he has deployed thusly. So out on this right-hand flank, he's got 1 unit of sharpshooters here. This is one of the unit of bulwarkers. They've got phalanx, hence the spears, right? Along with the dwarf lord and large beast. He's one of the rangers in the forest. And there's his organ gun, and there's his other sharpshooters, right? You can see them here. And this is Faber Ironheart. Oh, that's not Faber Ironheart. That's Faber Ironheart, being the Ratkin guy. And then we have we have definitely got a horde of ironclad beam dwarves. Yay! Actual dwarves. Well done. We've got, yeah, we go. There's the standard bearer. Here are the earth elementals. That's the stone priest. There's the other bulwarkers. This one is the other rangers. Probably. Yes, it is the other rangers. And there's the greater earth elemental. And lastly, here's the mastiff pack. Okay, so he's spread out kind of thinly, I think. A little too thinly. Maybe he's trying to capture all the tokens. I don't know. With this one, he's probably, almost certainly not going to get unless he gets with his greater earth elemental. So maybe he's trying to get all of these ones. Anyway, I've decided to focus down this side because we've got 2 2-point tokens. That's all that matters. If you get those, you win, right? So I've got Revcav. And then I've got, if I mark all the zombie hordes, 1 zombie horde, 2 zombie hordes, 3 zombie horde, and down there is 4 zombie hordes. Now this is a zombie troll behind these zombie hordes, double Revcav. The double Revcav is here because he's got his slightly faster guys here. And also, he's going to be peppering me with shots. I'd rather he shoots these guys because they're unwaverable. Well, everything's unwaverable, but also their defense 5 and their chaff. Everything's chaff, really. Rather than my zombie trolls here who are actually punchy. I'm hoping I can get them over this bit of terrain in time to charge. Likewise, these other zombie trolls here. This is the Gorblight in the middle, so they're going to come up here. We're going to wait for them to chew through my zombies, and then we're going to strike. And then down the other side, whoops, there we go. This is 1 standard bearer. There's another standard bearer. Here, I believe. No. Here? That looks like a standard bearer there, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Standard bearer here, standard bearer here. Obviously, 1 standard bearer for these guys, 1 standard bearer for these guys, the Revcav. This is a necromancer. They're both the same, so there's the other necromancer. And look, I've got some Mantic Undead dice. Excited to use those for the first time. This is Morgoth today, this little priestess lady from Bad Squiddo Miniatures. There's a regiment of zombies. There's another regiment back there behind this horde. And here's the whites. So the plan is pretty simple and obvious. Chuck forward zombies. Chuck forward zombies. Smash all this up. And then come around the back. Alright, so here we go. So he scouts up his rangers because they get scout. And these ones onto the hill. There's definitely one with a bow, I promise. He's got guns on his stand. I mean, how more rangery can you possibly get? On to turn 1. So I don't get turn 1. He gets turn 1. That's okay. Off he goes. So, Bulwarkers and the King come up nice and hard on the right-hand side. Everything else kind of plunders. Wanders forwards, apart from the shooty stuff. Yep, and a generalised advance on the left. Just keeping these rangers as far back as possible. They don't need to be any further. Although that is a mistake. He didn't move them onto the hill, and he probably meant to move them onto the hill. So they're going to be shooting with cover anyway. Yeah, and all the shots going to these Revcav have 6 wounds. And then 2 wounds to these ones. Shooting. Dwarf shooting is good. Who knew? So I couldn't roll the requisite 11 twice, I think, to kill them, whatever it is. 11 twice? 9 twice to kill them. Even more. So I decided I'm not going to worry about this. Forget it. I've got enough surge that I can just manage. So got my zombie horde here, just in case he decides to come around. Push forward nice and hard with my Revcav. Trying to get all of the zombie trolls off this terrain as quickly as possible. And likewise over here. So I've just kind of plopped these whites into the woods, out of charge range of the greater earth elemental. He can throw throwing dogs at me here and here, so that's something to be mindful of. I may take some throwing dog damage. There's no terrain's not going to do anything about that. Not a lot I can do about it either. I have to hope my life leech it off. So there we go. It's just showing you where I've moved, I think. Nothing exciting. Oh, that's surging. That's what that is. So I surge these zombies forwards. There they go. So they're now in a nice... I've managed to get a very nice deal. A nice line. Well done, me. Jolly good. And I surge forward these zombies as well. It's kind of a please attack these zombies. They're kind of more painted like ghouls, aren't they? Yeah. I didn't paint these. This is Russell's army, my friend Russell, who you would have seen on the channel at some point. And there's some more surge there, so lots and lots and lots of surge going on. Just surging zombies forward with gay abandon, because I don't care if they die. Which is rather refreshing. So turn 2, here we go. So he's put forward his throwing mastiff, his mastiffs with mastiffs. And everything else is kind of proceeded forwards in a nice kind of curve here. So mastiffs on zombies is going to last a while. Tokens are pretty much kind of sit there. Everything else has kind of just stayed a little bit out because they don't want to be rev-cabbed too hard, I think. What he's really trying to do is bring his king round here, try and challenge as quickly as possible. He's also going to sit these sharpshooters on this token and just pick it up and shoot me down the side for the rest of the game. So that was, throwing dogs. I'm showing you that he's thrown both of his dogs, as I predicted, onto my whites. Not really predicted. I've already lived through this. And that is no wounds? Wow. Wow, that is embarrassing, guys. 2 sets of throwing dogs for 0 wounds on whites is poor. And that is throwing dogs around the corner there. So these guys are throwing dogs here, I'm guessing. Oh, there you go. It wasn't 0 wounds. Wow, that would have been shameful, wasn't it? 8 wounds, which is way more than 0. I have lived, as I've mentioned about 2 minutes ago, I have lived through this. There you go, so this is a wound. So 8 wounds on there is a lot. So these guys had another 2 wounds and then 4 wounds from the rangers and the shooting helmet. So he's really piling on the damage early, which is what these kind of very focused shooting dwarves bring now. Can do to you. But my main plan with all the dogs is really just stop him focus firing. If you focus fire throwing dogs, you can take off units very, very easily, but just like 3 sets of dogs into 1 unit. So it was a risk letting him shoot everything into my whites. They have survived it. Loads of wounds there, so I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Into my go. So here we go then. So I take my 8 wounds and I run. So we go. So let's look at back where we are. Doink. So we get zombies into bullwalkers and we get rev-cab into the greater. The greater, he's going to take a little while to chew through that because he sucks. Right, which then allows my whites to fly into these guys. And we are super, super killy. And then obviously we're charging here with the zombies. Yeah. There we go. So that's the pattern. It went 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then Morgoth comes up. I couldn't get this guy, this Necromancer, in for some drain life action. I could get Morgoth to do some draining here, but I don't think he's going to do a lot because he's defense 6. We've got zombies up in support and more zombies in support too. So yeah, I've picked up both tokens, which is comforting for me. And then over here, so the organ gun shooting me is incredibly irritating. I don't like it. And I spotted a nice kind of gap between Faber and the Rangers. So both of these rev cabs are very damaged. I sent the most damage one into the organ gun to just stop it shooting. I might even kill it. You never know. Doubt it though. And the other one into these Rangers just to stop them shooting for a turn. Plus Faber's overextended. He can't see. So all we've got is sharpshooters, which potentially could flag this unit hindered. It's gonna suck for them. I'm defense 5. I am on 10 wounds though, so they need to do 1. And likewise, I've kind of turned here, so we've got the king on the hill. So these zombies have just made it off the terrain, finally. He can't reach them with his king. He can reach these zombies. He's not going to want to. All right, so we're just forming a little curve because I have picked up this token. That's all that matters to me now. So I can now just drop it and start picking things up. He's got earth elementals around the corner, but earth elementals. So yeah, and I managed to roll out the box, hitting on 6s. Let's go zombies, and we take off his throwing mastiffs. which is good. His Mastiff hunting pack, I mean. So that was very exciting for me. And I sidestep out to allow me to flank that Great Earth Elemental on 6s. 6s and 6s. Yeah, but then I rolled out the box with my whites. Really, really good. Bit of Drain Life from Morgoth. I've done 1 wound from Drain Life, which is good. So I managed to heal 1 wound off and then Life Leech another, down to 6 wounds. 1 point of damage here from these zombies. We are killing it with the old dice rolls. And then nothing really doing here. So 3 wounds and 1 wound, but nothing really takes any umbrage from that. On to turn 3 for the Dwarves. This is how we look on this side. So I'm quite happy that I've managed to fend off some of these shooting threats long enough to pick up tokens. So at this point, all I need to do is stand my ground. Stand my ground and last 3 turns. Right? That's how it looks. So off he goes. And this is how it looks on this side. So he decides, right, we're going in. You better take it, boy. So the Horde of Ironclad and the Earth Elementals go into this zombie horde, hoping to pick it up in a single turn. That would allow him to pick up the token, probably onto the Earth Elementals and then back away. So, you know, turn the battle back in his favour. He does take the flank with the sharpshooters because that's sensible. Counter charge here, and Faber comes around here to do some shooting, I believe. Yep, and then he just brings these guys. So he chooses not to engage. He brings the king round instead. I'd have been tempted to push him a bit further. I think probably the threat of zombie troll charge, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he just couldn't get out of zombies range. Maybe he brought him around here to tempt my zombies away to allow anything else to come in. I don't know. Anyway, he's picked this token up with his sharpshooters on the hill. And some counter charges there because there's not a lot else he could do. So, yep, sharpshooters, pretty cross. Pretty cross, a single wound. Pathetic. Enough to pick them up, though, of course, because they only needed 1 wound. And a single wound there from Rangers, who really couldn't roll. So they're going to live another day. And, yeah, so the zombies do indeed die. And those Earth Elementals then back up. I think that was a little bit of a mistake, and I'll show you why in a minute. But he backs up with the Earth Elementals. He probably backed up a bit further than he meant to. If you think about your reforms, and I never do, you know, hands up, I never think about my reforms. By the way, these are all real 1980s Citadel Dwarfs. They belonged to my brother as a child, so I never sold them. I just had someone repaint them. So one of the things you can think about in your reform is think about if you wanted to prevent yourself from getting flanked by things, because I've got a lot of surge in my army. If you take one of your characters when you charge in, right, this character, this standard bearer, and put it 1 inch behind, then when you back up, you're guaranteed to back up the inch, and your flank will be protected by the building, potentially. Yeah? That's something to think about. Anyway, whatever. And then he turned these, so he performed a curve here, so he wasn't thinking about potential flanks, and I was absolutely constantly thinking about it because I've got this white unit and a ton of surge. So, yep, 7 wounds here onto these zombies, and they survive, which is great. I know I've gone down to 5 now. Why have I gone down to 5 now? Who knows? Maybe I cheated. 3 wounds to the Greater Earth Elemental, you know, hitting like a box of tissues. 3 wounds onto the Rev Cav, onto my turn 3. So, we're like, let's see how many wounds we can do against defense 6. So, yeah, flank from zombies, and then front from zombies, and then a counter charge from these guys. So all the zombies are hindered, all hitting on 6s and 6s. And as you can see, I've moved my whites up and turned them. And I'm going to have some surge potential down here, counter charges here. So the first surge is going to be from this Necromancer, second surge from Morgoth. And then I picked up the 2-point token with this zombie. So I dropped it with this one, picked up with this one. That's the surge. So what we're looking at is, I think I needed a 6 or 7 inch surge into this character. And then I needed to overrun 3 into this character. And then overrun into a rear charge on these Earth Elementals. That'll be fun. Let's give it a go. And then we charge. So the way that he'd positioned these guys allowed me a triple charge on the Horde, which I took with much glee. Just much glee. I'm like, I'm having that. Let's have a go. Off we go. And so the surge goes off. We get it into the first character. I Bane Chant the zombies in the flank because, you know, why not? Yeah, that's a surge. All right. But then they absolutely fluff their dice, and I only do 5. Oh, no, that's the first. I'm sorry. I do kill the first character dead, as you can see, and I do overrun the 3 into the second character, which is the standard bearer. So the stone priest is dead, standard bearer, but then I only do 5 wounds to him. So I do 1 great set of dice and 1 poopy set of dice. There we go. So close, yet so far. We're still in a good place. And we do kill that horde, and we reform like this. So we turn 1 troll unit this way to face against these earth elementals, who now don't have a choice because there's only surge left. Faber's facing this way, so that's his line of sight. So he's got these guys, and we're protected down our flank, and we've got the Gorblight here. So very, very nice position. Really, really happy with that. 2 wounds there, kind of garbage. Turn 4 then, so he's going to have to try and take off my trolls in a single go. In he goes. This is a Twilight Kin standard bearer. I've only got 1 undead one. Oh, how many wounds did I do on the Earth Elemental? Where is it? I'm just going to skip preview. Well, not enough. I think it was like 4. Something pathetic. I don't know. Some. We'll see in a minute, I'm sure. So he goes in there. Yep. Counter charge against, I believe, the cavalry here. He's really stuck. Double charge into this horde with these guys. So triple charge, including Faber. Trying to really clear them out because Faber's not going to do anything here on his own, right? Plus, if he turns, he'll then be kind of guarding this way. So really kind of get into the mix, get rid of this horde as quickly as possible. And there is some shooting. I think he shoots from there down here, right? Annoyingly, Faber is like 1 inch away from this token, so I can't even pick it up. At some point, I shot him with something. Maybe it was a drain life or something. I don't have any shooting, so must have been. That is the sharpshooters and the organ guns. 3 wounds on my trolls. They're okay still. Those Rev Cav finally do get cleared off, which is just in time. He backs up just a perfect amount, so his nose is still in the woods, which is luck, a little bit of luck. The standard bearer says, right, I'm going to kill you then, and countercharges. Yep, so all those wounds smashes home and takes off my zombie horde. So now I've got some Bullwalkers and a Dwarven King angrily looking down my flank, along with Faber Ironheart, who turns around like that. But yeah, that was absolute garbage from the Earth Elementals there. 2 wounds onto my trolls. And the Dwarf, whatever it's called, Greater Earth Elemental does manage to take off my Rev Cap. We still can't see how many wounds I did. Maybe it was none. I'm sure it wasn't none. Oh, but this is galling. He's not having a great game at the best of times. He's now put these guys up to 16 wounds, this tiny zombie regiment, and he double ones it. So that's particularly poor. Particularly poor as we go into my turn 4. So I'm feeling relatively good about where we are. He's got a token here, but I'm looking at another rear charge once I kill his character. He does do. Does he do a wound? You think he does do a wound? Yeah, because I life leech twice. So he does a wound with his standard bearer, which is I need to kill it. I think. And then yep, that side is looking. Oh, there you go. He's on 2 wounds. Magnificent. I did 1 wound. I must have had 75 zombie attacks, 6s and 6s for a wound. Great job. In with Banechant as well, 6s and 5s. Garbage. So yeah, off we crack. So the zombie troll's going to Faber because I hate Faber Ironheart and I want him to die all the time, every time. Gorblight's just facing off. Not sure what the Gorblight's doing, if I'm honest. Just hanging out. We turn like this because we're going to surge into the flank of this bulwark unit with these zombies. Surge in the flank! And we continue to flank here. Looks like I Banechanted them as well. Banechant's going off everywhere. I Banechant these guys just to really, really make sure that's from Morgoth. Now I am charging hindered this time. Oh no, I'm counter charging. Screw you. Here we go. That's drain life. I've drain life them down to 2. So drain lifed, I think, here. And then Banechanted here with his 2 spells. That's what I've done. Surge from this guy. Gets him into the flank, so we're happy here. And then I waver him. So I'm up to 11 damage and a waver. Which could be worse, except they've got Headstrong. They are Dwarves, not Ratkin. I kill him in the back here. And I overrun. I forget what you're supposed to do is do these wounds first, and then have a go at the nerve check, then do the second one, so you get a second nerve check. That's what you're supposed to do. Didn't do it, but I figured, you know what, 56 or whatever it is attacks in the rear on 3s and 3s, plus 18 in the front on 4s and 4s, probably going to be okay. Probably going to be okay. Totally was okay. Exploded into stone-shaped pieces, stole their token. Alrighty. Faber, we take him up to 6 wounds. He's fine because Faber is literally unkillable. Drives me mad. Turn 5 for the Dwarfs. Yeah, he decides that he really doesn't want to play with zombies anymore. It's boring. And where he was located with his Greater Earth Elemental, which is really, I think, probably misplaced from the start. You can see I've had to put this guy here so that I can... because I think I did him there. I have no idea why. I think, was I trying to avoid some kind of... No, because they would have been like this. They wouldn't have been hindered. I don't know. Anyway. Maybe I was trying to look at I really don't know. Anyway. For whatever reason I put my Necromancer there, which seems pretty stupid, this lovely Earth Elemental can see him. Like that. So rather than play with these zombies, which is entirely pointless, I'm never going to get this token. He's only got 12 attacks. He decides to come and try and kill this guy and then overrun into the flank, which is a cool thing to do. So off he goes. There we go. And there goes a zombie troll being beaten up by stuff, which seems fair. And everything else is turned around to shoot at whites because they need to get that token. So there, yeah, up to 15 wounds now. I think these guys failed their headstrong test, by the way. So he does kill the character and he does overrun into the flank and takes them off. So that is another token they can get. Maybe. That's an interesting choice, isn't it? He turned... I think he turned that way. Why? Why? Stop a rear charge? He's on 5 wounds. Probably wouldn't kill him, though. Personally, I think it might have been better to overrun onto the token. Because at least they only have 2. What do you think? Anyway. So zombie trolls on this side, car kit. Oh, they're a massive 19 wounds. So, you know, once he gets in, really, dwarves these days, they hit like a truck. Everything hits on 3s, which is just gross. So, yeah, I do charge him in the front. I charge him in the rear of these wavered dwarves with my zombie token carrying guys. So that's, how did I get that? How did that happen? So, here's what happened. You will see, hopefully, the whites here, yeah, who backed up after picking up the token. They took the token from the combat and backed up. So what I've done is I've dropped the token by the whites here in the corner, and then when I take the rear charge on this unit, I can pick it up with my zombies. So they now have a 2-point token. The whites have then flown off to attack shooty things. We should do a single wound to kill here, I hope. This is not important anymore because he's facing the wrong way. And I'm running off with that token. Over here, so the Goreblight comes into favour because we hate Faber. And it also allows me to block things. I take zombie trolls into the sharpshooters and whites into these guys because they just need to not kill things. The rangers are kind of unimportant. They can still shoot, but we're in the way. And the zombies have the token all the way over there. So I'm really just kind of shielding off as much as possible over here. So yeah, 7 wounds on the Greater Earth Elemental. Still alive. Everything dies over here. And then we don't... we don't kill Faber. And we do, I think, kill this unit that was here. Turn 6. Yeah, they do kill that unit just as well. Just as flipping well, I tell you what. I just noted that standard bearer is a Ratkin standard bearer as well. I don't have any undead standard bearers. Turn 6 for the dwarves in a rather desperate last struggle. So he, you know, flops away at zombies a bit more. And then charges into my trolls. Charges into my Goreblight. What's that? So that's the Radiance. No. Why have you got a wound, little man? Little zombie. What shot you? Who hurt you? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. 6 wounds onto those. So we couldn't repeat the magic from last time because it's only rangers charging this time, not anything good at combat. He does kill off my Goreblight though, which is very mean. Very mean. But he's got whites staring down at him on my turn 6, so yeah. In come the whites. So I move them up for a nasty surge into the flank of those rangers. Whereas the zombie trolls over here, these zombie trolls can't charge the king to just stop him from doing anything at all. And then, yeah, we just kind of sit there with this lot. There's the flank. And that... Oh, do I drain? I drain life. There you go. So I've got both a surge and a drain life and a drain life for my wizard. We do kill Faber. Nothing feels as good as killing Faber Ironheart. Rangers go. I think the king lives on 10 wounds there. The Earth Elemental does not wound. And there's Mo looking sad. I'm like, I literally said, Mo, look depressed, because what a cruel thing to say. Anyway, lovely game. Lovely man. So then I let him go to bed. Let's go on to game 2. So into game 2 of this absolutely voluntary, definitely not forcing this poor tourist to play me again and again at Kings of War. Don't get to play as much as I like, so I have a captive audience. Literally captive. You can have your wife back once you've played all 3 games. Anyway, so then I cracked out the Ratkin. I thought might as well try out this list. Seems quite fun. Just use all the rats I've got. Not played them for a number of years. I can't remember the last time I played them. Did play them in a tournament last year, didn't I? Anyway, so we have a horde of warriors with plague pots, 3 regiments and a horde of shock troops. 2 Vermintide regiments, a Tunnel Runner troop with the Skirmisher's boots for nimble, which is kind of fun because it's a square base. 3 weapon teams, which I feel is the correct amount of weapon teams. 2 Mutant Rat Fiends, again, the correct amount of Mutant Rat Fiends. A Tangle, a War Chief with the Vicious Aura for infantry, a Brute Enforcer with a loot, and a Brood Mummy. So I think it's a nice rounded list. No long range shooting, but needs to get into you, but there's a lot of trash to get through. No, it's all trash really, isn't it, Ratkin? So this is a slightly tuned list. So we had a chat about what worked, what didn't work. I think the chat that we had was, why didn't you use the Brox? And he's like, oh, I guess I don't really use Brox. I'm like, yeah, use the Brox. That's something how the conversation went. And we also we took up Faber because he felt he couldn't get good use out of him. Kept the Rangers like them. We kept the Earth Elementals against our own advice, really. And did 2 troops of Berserker Brock Riders, one with a Skirmisher's boots. Everyone's got Skirmisher's boots. Mastiff Hunking Pack still there. Organ Gun still there. Lord on Large Beast still there. Added in Garrick. So Garrick instead of Faber. Garrick is great. So we the Stone Priest has dropped the Radiance of Life. Still got the Stone Shapers stuff going on. But we've got Garrick for Radiance of Life now. Garrick is great. And then still got the formation with all the Mastiffs and loot. So pretty similar, but kind of tuned up a bit. And this is our battlefield. So we shifted it around a bit. Put some different terrain on. Thanks, Steve Evans. We love you. So we've got blocking. I think we said all height 4. Height 3 hills. Height flat forest. Height 6, right? And then 2 walls. So yeah, nice little trio of... blocking terrain is always fun. And this time we were playing Pillage. A first scenario where you just have objectives and you put them out on the board. We put them out in turns reasonably evenly, like so. And deployed thusly. So if you remember, so we've got one behind the woods here, one behind the woods here. Yeah. So one in the backfield and one here. So there's 3 on each side. And then one just dead straight in the middle. What's happening? Where's the one in the middle gone, boys and girls? Oh, it's obviously hiding behind this tree. There's one under these Mutant Rat Fiend. So my plan here was to take the 4. Right, so I thought you know 4 out of 7 is a good number to take. Not those 4. I'm so sorry. These 4, because there's one behind the tree. Remember, and one here as well. Those are the 4 I'm planning for. So I've got my warriors here. So these ones in cloaks used to be blight, but now are warriors. These red tokens are plague pots. Here's my Tunnel Runner. So he's nimble, so I've put him behind the house so he can go this way or that way. We've got Mutant Rat Fiend and Mutant Rat Fiend. They're flanking these kind of 2 regiments of shock troops. The horde of shock troops is over here. So I'm really just playing on 2/3 of the board. Really, I'm going to ignore these 2 because he's got his Brock Riders over there, so they can go off and just kind of do stuff over there. I think Brock Riders are better with your main units as chaff, personally. But we've got all 3. So I've got my horde of shock troops and all 3 of my weapon teams here. Plan being that I want to try and shoot off at least one of these regiments of Brocks before they get into me. Here's a Brute Enforcer, actually being a Brute Enforcer. There's my War Chief. There's the Broodmother. And then we've got Vermintide. Vermintide, actually Vermintide this time. We had to swap things around because obviously he can't use rats in his army anymore. So his horde of Ironclad is now my Kingdoms of Men. Anyway, but they are Ironclad right now. So we still have our Rangers and I believe Rangers here. I want to say, yeah. I think yes. And so these guys are then the Bulwarker, right, with the Ironclad in the middle. Here's our Earth Elemental Center, and here's our Organ Gun. These little kitty cats that I made to be battle cats a long time ago just to annoy people are being Mastiff packs. So he's only got Mastiffs. So I'm really confident about this flank now. So this token is man. And I also come around with this Tunnel Runner pretty strongly as well. He does have a Lord with Defense 6, but the Tunnel Runner is one of the few things that can really take on a Lord. This is a problem for me, all that Defense 6 and 5 across here. Not a lot of crushing, right? So these guys are crushed 2, but only 10 attacks. Crush 1, crush 1, crush 1. And I've got Bane Chant on my Tangle. Where's the Tangle? Probably back here somewhere. Anyway. There we go. Yeah, there's the crossbowmen. So, see, they are definitely Rangers. Yeah, he is the only one, though. And there's the other guys. So these guys are playing Bulwarkers today. Bulwarkers. And these guys are playing the Ironclad. Yeah, so this would be Garrick over here. And then we've got 2 Brocks. So the one without... We took one Brock Rider off to show this is the nimble one. There we go. So we're down the flank. These are my warriors. I think I put a sign on them later to show that they're warriors. Oh, there's the Tangle. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's here. It's on a hedge. Oh, there it is. God, blimey, I'm blind as a bat. But ages painting this rat army. It's all brown. That's why I painted these guys yellow. I painted them later. These are the newer rats. All of these guys are converted Dead Zone rats because they didn't have Ratkin when I painted this Ratkin army. And I decided to be a special flower and make them all out of Dead Zone rats. And then they made their entire range out of Dead Zone rats. And I was like, oh, okay then. So, yep. That's all that stuff. There's the Brute Enforcer with his loot to back up these guys. I've got both my Bane Chanters in one place, which is not clever. He's up for it. Look how happy and excited he is to be playing me. Right, Mo? There's the Scout. A little bit of Scout there, so he's ready to shoot. Okay, but I win turn 1 this time and off I crack. So the Warriors come up just to kind of peek over the hill. I can just stay here the whole game if I want to. And just claim a point. Right, that's the idea. Tunnel Runner comes off this way. So I've really pushed forward with these guys. I've activated my Plague Pot, so you can see there's a Plague Potted. I'm saying, shoot me, please shoot me. However, there is another more juicy target right here that I didn't Plague Pot, but there you go. That's life in it. Everything else just pushes forward into the woods. So this guy is speed 7. So he's kind of nice and far forward. And then I cast Weakness from the Tangle, and I get it off onto these Rangers, which is very delicious, so they're weakened. Onto Mo's turn 2. So he shoves forward his Lord. He's really using him as chaff because he knows I cannot kill him. I absolutely cannot. So he's putting him forward so that he can shoot with his Rangers. And I think he's probably put him... Yeah, because these guys are an inch forward, right? So if I went my full 12 rather, which I did, they are within charge range. So what he did was position the king... So even if I turn, I'm not going to be able to charge them, which is pretty cool. It's a good move. I like it. Everything else just come forward in a lovely line. And there is some Rangers shooting. So 2 wounds onto my shock troops. Don't really mind that. 4 wounds from the Rangers and this organ gun onto these shock troops. Mind that a little bit. And then... Oh, was that 4 wounds just from the organ gun? Must be. Yep, and I think the Rangers have shot here for 2 wounds. Mean. onto my turn 2. So I played pretty aggressively because he's brought his Brocs round, as you can see, really far as he can with these ones because they're nimble. So I need to be quite kind of aggressive, I suppose. So I decide, all right then, I will be aggressive. So these guys who'd used their plague pots were really far forward. So I decide to take the charge into the Earth Elemental because what that allows me to do is block things. It means that whoever comes forward is going to be, putting around this way. Not great moves. Plus, if he does come in here, then I got a lot of stuff to come in. I've actually got 2 of my harder hitting units ready to charge in. You can see I've mentioned I'm just out of 10. A very optimistic surge might get me, but he'd have to be extremely optimistic. Order march don't matter when you're charging. And I've sent in 1 of my Vermintide and the Tunnel Runner into the King. Really to be as blocky as possible to allow all of this to happen because he can't get anywhere near me. Right, can't see anything. Decided to be more aggressive with the Warriors because I want to be annoying, frankly. Might as well come down. There's a token here. So yeah, and then I've moved forward. So I've moved forward as hard as possible with this weapon team, almost as bait. So I think this Brocs can't see them past the hill. They can only see here and we're out of charge. These guys can't reach it. So no one else can see him, and he allows me to have some shots onto the Ranger unit. These guys couldn't get over the front to do so. Yeah, going to carry on weaknessing. You can see here I've come around to eat the weak onto these guys, which is when you drain life for double drain life, so 10 drain lives onto your own unit to heal. They stay weakened. Take another weakness and another weakness. And then we waver the Dwarf King, which is rather exciting, isn't it? 7 wounds. Let's go, Tunnel Runners. 1 wound there. Very brave. You did very well, lads. Good job. On to turn 2 for Gad. So he passes his headstrong roll, which is, expected. The Rangers decide to tangle here because actually they can probably take off those Vermintide quite nicely, and then they're facing into the combat, which is where they want to be. He takes the flank with the Earth Elementals and a front with Greater as a counter charge. He's shielding off here, so he's saying, "All right, I'll throw some dogs at you, and you can come off your hill next turn, and we'll kind of slap at each other for a couple of turns." Dogtown. So you know what I said about trying to stop him throwing as many dogs as possible onto a single unit. So I don't think he actually does this in the end. He says, this is how I'm gonna throw my dogs, but he changes his mind, which is fine because you only decide. You don't have to decide when you go, right? Plus he's got these guys up here now, which is kind of very threatening. Same thing. So that's 6 wounds from all those dogs, which we didn't like. Didn't like on the. How many wounds did they have? 2, so 4 wounds. Kind of what you expect, really. And then that is Rangers shooting. Oh, I think it's the only thing. Yeah. Then that is the Rangers shooting. So I just try and take off this warning. That's a nice kind of a cheeky shot, isn't it? Let's see if we can get him. They couldn't. 3 wounds though. It's pretty good. 7 wounds from throwing dogs onto that war engine. It is defense 5. Defense 5 war engines are great. Not that great though. Even rallied up. 1 war engine down. Look at it. Look at Garrick Heavy Hand. Cheeky. But the Rangers absolutely flub it. They absolutely flub it. And only 3 wounds onto my Vermintide. Garbage. Those brave little shock troops do in fact cark it though. So death to them. And they turn like this. Now I think this was another little mistake that he made. Because what he was looking at was trying to protect the flank of this unit from this mutant rat fiend, right? Bear in mind this is a movement tray, so the flank of the unit is here. So by doing this, by turning it this far, he's allowed me essentially a triple charge. Because 1, 2, 3 can all come into this very, very dangerous unit. All hindered, but these guys have got Strider. It doesn't matter for them. If he'd have turned it just a little bit... actually, what could he have done? I'm not sure, wasn't he? Actually, so what could he have done? What could he have done better? If he'd have turned it more obliquely, maybe to here, it still blocks the charge. Yeah, like that. So it blocks the charge and only allows a double charge onto the Greater. You can only get one of the mutant rat fiends in. That's kind of a better move, I think, rather than this, which allows a double charge. Yeah, so if it was further over this way, there's nothing over here that can charge it in the flank. Maybe a tangle, but that's really not scary. So if they... I'm trying to draw it, but you know what I mean. Anyway. You know what I mean. Don't allow triple charges on your very, very strong units. I think, but you know. Heat at the moment, all that. This is how it looks. And so we crack in. So we take the triple. Oh, we don't take the triple. I'm a liar. I couldn't even take a triple. You know what? I just spent ages like patronising, explaining this is how you should play the game if you don't suck at the game. And then I suck at the game. I think maybe I consider the triple because it is possible. But I'd rather get my... no, yeah, that's right. So I go back to patronising mode. I wanted to get my Brute Enforcer into this combat because I'm taking my Horde and the Brute Enforcer into this regiment of Bullwalkers. Because his brutal really counts for a lot. So I elect to take the double charge here instead and then block off his greater with this mutant rat fiend. Yeah. This slap fight continues. Only 2 wounds from the king onto the tunnel, which sucks, doesn't it, really? We take the charge off the hill into these guys. We come up to here. And these guys, so this Eat the Weak that this Broodmother did, they did 5 wounds to them and healed all the wounds that were on that shock troop unit. So yeah, so I've gone in very heavily over here because I'm really, as I've explained earlier, only really interested in the tokens on this side. I've kept this unit just in the backfield, sitting on a token here very happily, and I've moved these guys here to shoot this way. I put 6 wounds onto them and they're okay. I Bane Chant here. I kill the Mastiffs and I overrun 6 inches into the flank. Not into the flank, obviously you don't do the attacks, but I am now out of line of sight for that Dwarven King. They're just sort of sitting there because didn't do any damage. There's a 1 point of damage. 4 points of damage. Check him out. Mutant Rat Fiend. Better than zombies. I know who this guy is. Oh, that's the Stone Priest. Doing nothing. Yeah, and then I roll out of the box and smash up them Earth Elementals. Didn't even need the triple attack. So powerful. Yeah, so that was good rolling, wasn't it? Very lucky. I have messed up. Look, I've put my... what's he called? War Chief behind this unit, which means that I can't now rotate. I can't do anything, actually. Stuck there. I need to be mindful of my reforms when I'm moving my characters. Yeah, that's slightly unfortunate. So 8 wounds and a waiver onto these Bullwalkers from all of these attacks. I have activated my Plague Pots. However, there is a delicious, juicy flank for everything on the hill to come and smash me with. Look at that. It's just like 3 units like, hello. You only fit one of them in, though. We did 6 wounds from all these shots onto these guys. No, I showed you that earlier, didn't I? So, yeah, off we crack. So, where do people go? Where does Garrick go? I think Garrick's down there. I think Garrick and these Brocks go into the flank of my Shock Troop Horde. These guys come to the token here, which is good. Take the token. The Rangers kind of sit there on the hill to shoot at these guys. And these Bullwalkers come here to try and charge me next turn. Obviously, these guys charge. I think these guys charge the Brute. Because they can't kind of pivot to get into this guy. Counter charge here. New charge here. And, oh, look. Whoa, hang on. Whoa. We've missed something. I didn't take a screenshot of the fact that the Tunnel Runner killed the Dwarven King. Let's go. Wounding on 5s. It's pretty good, isn't it? So, yeah. That's not looking great on that side, is it? Does get a Bane Chant off, though, from his Standard Bearer, which is about time. He failed every other Bane Chant in the last game. That is my Vermintide dying. And that is the same thing. Oh, that's the reform. He reforms that way. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place here, isn't he? Because he's going to be flanked no matter what he does. So he'd rather be flanked by warriors than by shock troops, which is smart, really. Very smart. That is something. Radiance of Life has taken the wounds off this great Earth Elemental, maybe? What am I looking at? Don't know. Oh, death. I'm looking at death. So that's massive wounds from these guys onto my Brute. And then he backs up. I think I'm not sure if it's a flank or not. We'll find out pretty soon from these guys, because they're very, very sticky on 8 wounds. But my horde does die, so that's a big chunk taken out the centre of my force. Massive. And Garrick runs forwards, which unfortunately prevents his reform here. I think he might have been better sidestepping with the Brox, sidestepping with Garrick, and then kind of turning his horde. So this is turn 4 for me. Have we swapped turns there? Shit, that was... Hang on. He went first, right? Or did I go first? I went first. Yeah, okay. Turn 4 for me. So turn 4 for me. We back up... Whoa, what happened then? We back up my weapon teams so that these Brox can't see them, but I can carry on shooting. Probably going to shoot at these Brock Riders because they're on wounds and they're very strong. Got some Fireball to go as well, probably. We take... because of that reform he couldn't get, we do take my Mutant Rat Fiend into the flank of the Horde. Probably won't kill him, but you know, we'll do some damage. And it was a flank, so he didn't back up enough, so we take my War Chief and Shock Troops into that unit there to really finish it off. Carry on slapping here. We move over with the Brood Mum to add some Drain Life support to all this. And the Warriors come into the War Machine, so we're really jumping onto that token in the backfield there. Yep, there's Smashy time. That's Drain Life. 2 wounds of Drain Life. And that's 14 wounds now onto them. Oof, 9 wounds from the weapon team. Smashed it. And picked them up. Oh, obviously, Fireball as well. That helps. Picked up the War Machine. And we picked up the Rangers as well. So this side's feeling good. Feeling very strong. Picked up those Bulwarkers. Wow! Look at that, man. 14 wounds off of 20 attacks. Mutant Rat Fiend is on it. Doesn't kill him, though. Turn 4, counter charge. Garrick decides to take on the Tangle all by himself. Who's a brave little boy, then? Everything else is just looking down there. So there's Rangers kind of staring at me. We're going to kill you. Weapon teams. So how we're looking token-wise, we've got 1 here. There's 1 there that's not even looked at. There's 1 here that we've got. And there's 1 in the backfield that I'm going to want to get. Right, so this one, I'm probably going to try and get with the Tunnel Runner. Because there's nothing else here to threaten, and I'm not going to get into the combats. So if I get this one, and this one, I just need to get this one, really, to knock it out. Oh, there's one in the middle. Tangle's sitting on one as well, isn't it? Ooh, that's important, because he's got a Horde. So I need to somehow secure that as well. Let's see what I do. So he counter charges. Yes, counter charges my Mutant Rat Fiend. Gets Bane Chant off. So they're now wounding on 3s. Shooting. So the Rangers finally remember how to use those bows. Kill my weapon team. Only 3. It's Great Earth Elemental. Definitely going in the bin after this game. And look, I've done 8 wounds to him and he's done 3 wounds to me. Suck it up, boys. But the other Mutant Rat Fiend does get killed by that Horde, which is highly unfortunate. 3 wounds from Garrick into my turn 5. So we're going to try and finish off this Horde. This guy over here is proving a bit of a nuisance with his Bane chanting. So the War Chief takes him on. And I've got my Brood Mum here. She's my secret source because she's going to come around and take this token for me. We're going to carry on slapping here. And I've got this Shock Troop Regiment to come and support here because he has got more unit strength than me. But if I can support here, then I've got 2 unit strength there because the Tangler's worth 2 and 3 here. That's mine. Tunnel Runner's gone off this way because he's nimble. That's mine and that's mine as well. So feeling good. That's happening there. So 2 wounds. That's from this weapon team here. Oh, that's Garrick's Radiance has put them down to how much is that? 15? Down from 16? There's a handy finger from Mo pointing at the 4 wounds my War Chief did off of his 5 attacks. What a legend. Didn't kill him though. Yeah, and we pick up the Horde with those attacks, which is lovely. Just where I want to be. Into Mo's turn 5. Not quite enough units left, I think, to take it. Because he needs... Yeah, it's going to be really tough. He's not quite got enough scoring units. Even if this unit comes in and takes this, I can still get this. And to add to these other ones, it's not looking great. So yeah. Pushing forward, so it comes into my regiment who's used their plague pots. He backs up with the Rangers so they can go and get that next turn. Why has that gone down? Oh, regen. Did I regen? I don't know. Garrick joins in. 4 wounds. Guys, that's terrible rolling. He has put... So this is quite a clever move. The standard bearers come on the edge of the terrain to allow them to charge in unhindered. But because of the ensnare, it's just not enough, guys. On my turn 6. So, yeah, the Broodmother kind of comes round to get the token. We countercharge here. We move in my regiment here to make sure this token is mine. Carry on slapping the Greater Earth Elemental, who we've decided is terrible. Drain Life comes in as well, just to really kind of rub salt in that wound. And I only waver him. What an indomitable little stone priest. Legend. 5 wounds from my countercharge there. Not enough, so I couldn't really kill anything last turn. I feel like I should have done, but that was the end of the game anyway. It's another fine game. Another fine game. Greater Earth Elementals are not good. Tell us how to use them. We really didn't know. So you'd think after... I beat him twice in a row. He came to my house. I welcomed him as a guest. Gave him a suboptimal list and then kicked his bum. So in the third game, I brought my tournament army out. Why not? And so into game 3. Just in case anyone thinks I'm being serious, he did voluntarily play me. I mean, I did kind of... This third game, I think he was kind of like... Are we really going to play 3 games of Kings of War in a row? I'm like, yeah. Not in the same day. It wasn't all on the same day, I hasten to add. But I think I might be a bit obsessed. Anyway, I found a bug in Mantic Companion, whereby if you go to an image view of Kingdoms of Men, it doesn't give you any stats. Look at that. I'm going to have to tell you the stats of these troops. Now, you'll also notice, so this was theoretically my tournament list. I was trying to... I didn't... I've altered the list since this game, and I didn't print it out at the time. I looked at what's on the table, and we played, and I've realised that I was actually 35 points down, which is a bit silly, isn't it? So we have 3 regiments and a horde of spear phalanx. Okay, so spear phalanx, they have phalanx, and they have ensnare. So pikes gives them ensnare. And Indomitable Will is their special rule, which means they can, once per game, become fearless and inspired. So they lose their nerve value, okay? But they're hit on 4s. They 4 defense. They're pretty average apart from that, but they're just kind of ensnaring blocks. The regiment and a horde. The horde's got a nice beaty nerve, right? Oh, hello. And then I've got 2 regiments of fanatics. So fanatics are the berserker troops of Kings of Men. 15 attacks and a dash 15 nerve. They're kind of expensive. I've given them elite and vicious. So natively they have crushing strength 1. And they also have wild charge D3. And I think that's it. But yeah, they're pretty good. Beast cavalry, they're like elf dracons. They're flying large cavalry horde with 18 attacks, hit on 3s. They have crushing strength 1 natively, and they gain thunderous charge 1 and vicious with this upgrade. This gain flying speed 10. I don't think anyone takes them without it, but it'd be quite fun to see people do try and take them without it, see if it's any good. I've never tried it. So they have crushing strength 1, thunderous charge 1, vicious, indomitable will as well. Don't think you have any other special rules. I'll look them up on the app while I'm talking to you, which is what I probably should have done and printed them off better the first time. But you know, you can't have it. Oh, we don't come here for quality. You want quality? You can go to any of the other YouTube channels. Why do you come here? No one knows. So none of the special rules are showing up in the Kingdoms of Men list at all. Wow. This is definitely a bug. There you go. Just crushing strength 1. There you go. Fine. We have 3 ballista, which are our war engines. Well, one of several war engines getting Kingdoms of Men. But they are 2 attacks hit on 4s, and they are piercing 2 and reload, which means that you can't move and shoot. So blast D3 as well. So those 2 attacks go into blast D3, and then they're piercing 2 and reload. Okay. We've got 2 wizards. So one of them's on foot, and the foot wizard's got Bane Chant and heal 3, and one of them's on a Pegasus mount and is Bane Chant and Hex. Now I think where I messed up is because I gave Boots of Striding to the Beast Cavalry, so they get Strider and Pathfinder once per game. And I forgot something. Oh, that's right. One of the Fanatics, the Chant of Hate one, used to be, what's name? Sharpness, Brew of Sharpness, hit on 2s. And lovely Chris Lynch gave me some advice for the list, and I kind of was halfway through taking it, I think, and I just didn't complete it. Who knows what I was thinking. Right, anyway, the Captain, he's kind of the main hero in this list. Did I have a Standard Bearer? Maybe a Standard Bearer. I don't think I had a Standard Bearer. Anyway, no, I didn't. So the Captain is a hero infantry, but he is not bad in a fight. You know, he's not bad at all with his 5 attack, crush 1. So he's got crushing strength 1. He's also got individual mighty, rallying 1, which is really important because all these nerves are terrible. So rallying 1 becomes very, very important for them. He's very inspiring, and he's got a rule where called Master Tactician, where you can redeploy anything in your list to D3 units in your list at the end of deployment. So that's good. And then we have 3 mini dragons, which are these generals on winged beast. They have a lot of rules. So let's look. They've got crushing strength 2, learn to speak. Crushing strength 2, fly, nimble, thunderous charge 1, and very inspiring. So CS2. And then TC1, right? So pretty meaty. 7 attack speed, 10, pretty good, not bad. So, God, that was a bit shambolic, wasn't it? That may have been the worst army introduction I've ever done. You're welcome. So this was the kind of tuned list. So after playing 2 games of Dwarves, Elementals went in the bin, absolutely terrible. And what Mo decided he liked. We've got a horde of shield breakers, because shield breakers are just great. Like 2 flipping good. Why on earth do dwarves need a CS2 unit? Holy cow. With ordered march and headstrong anyway. Gave them throwing mastiffs. The rangers are still in. The Brock Riders became a regiment with Blessing of the Gods. It's pretty nasty. Mastiffs are still in. 3 flame belchers. I believe played by Ratkin again this game. There's a nice... I just think, you look at dwarves and you think, wow. You can tell which army is favoured. Because 15 attacks on 4s. 14 inches with shattering. 90 points. Wow. Super wow. No piercing, but Jesus. Garrick's still in. He's great, isn't he? Faber's back. I think he put him in just because I hate Faber. The Dwarf Lord's got Brutal. And then we've got the same formation as before. So pretty similar, but we've got Flame Belchers, Shield Breakers, and a regiment of Brock Riders. And a nasty, tasty list of heroes. So here we go. What are we playing? I wish I could remember. I think we're playing Push, I want to say. Do token. Oh look, Luke's come to play. Oh, that's nice. Let's just quickly skip through to see if there are any tokens going on things. There are. Yes, we're playing Push. Okay, playing Push. So, hi Luke. Hi Mo. So this is how we deploy. So we changed the mat. It's nice to see the mat a bit different, isn't it? So we've got height 6, height 4 buildings. We've got a height 3 hill here, a height 3 hill here. It's got forest here, forest here. I lost one of these forest bases. Very annoying. I think it was lost at the last clash. Anyway. And then we've got some height flat terrain. Wall, and there's another wall somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So, here are the Mastiffs. I believe that's Garrick, but I wouldn't swear on it. Oh, man. Where's the Rangers? So, we've got, I think, double Rangers in the forests here. He's started to team up his stuff, which makes them much nastier. So, we have got a horde of, I think the Ironclad might be the rats. And the shield breakers might be these ones? That makes sense, maybe. Because these are clad in iron. Yeah? Here's the Brock Riders. Here's some Flame Belchers. There's another one over here. There's the Dwarf Lord. These are Bulwarkers, and these are Bulwarkers. Okay? And there's the Standard Bearer. Do we have a Standard Bearer list? Yes, he does. He's part of the Royal Guard with his little loot. Of course he has. So, against that. So, I started off by deploying my generals. So, I've got one general, One general, one general. That's kind of nice. We're trying to get him to spread out again because whichever way he goes, he's going to get something in the flank, right? I looked at my firing lane, so I put 2 ballista here and 1 ballista here. Normally I'd group them together, but I like the idea of these firing lanes. Look quite nice, particularly because I want to be targeting the war machines with them. And then I've gone for an indomitable centre because what I want to do, I didn't fancy facing off against shield breakers. I fancied getting a hard flank so that I could get my tokens down the flank and then get this one here. Yeah, so these are, I think, vicious fanatics. These ones are elite fanatics. There's the wizard with hex. The wizard with heal is here. And these are all spear phalanx. And this guy with the crown is the captain because he's got delusions of adequacy. And there's my beast cav. So I faced off against all this because I can outspeed him. And it will protect him from getting into these guys. What else is down that flank? So that's Garrick Heavy Hand, today played by a Broodmother. There's the solo. Not Garrick Heavy Hand, Faber Ironheart. Garrick's over there, isn't he? There's the only crossbowman in this unit of Rangers, but he really puts it out, so you know. Yeah, shield breakers, and that is Garrick over here for some inspiring, I guess. There we go. So I've got 1 spear phalanx, a general, and my beast cav facing off against some bulwarkers. That's bad. They've got phalanx. We've phalanx on phalanx, but we've got Brock riders and these 2, and then a dwarf lord. So it's kind of evenly matched. We'll see how we go. See how I play it. And there's my guys. And all the way over here is a general who is going to leg it, I believe. Let's see. So 1 token goes on these guys. And then my other tokens goes on these guys. So I'm really heavily favouring the left. So if you look at my general deployment up here. Whoa, let's go back. We've seen that photograph 1,000 times. I'm heavily favouring this side. This doesn't matter. I just need to get onto that token to win. That's a big ass. There's a lot to go through. But that's the hardest hitting unit. And he's really going to be peppering me the whole game unless I can get into him with a general. So let's see how we do. Off we crack. So, who wins turn 1? Where's somebody's arm? Oh, that's the tokens first. So his tokens go on the shield breaker horde and these bulwarkers. And then, oh yeah, so the other horde. Just all the hordes. Why not? That's where I put them too. So a very small scout forward there from those guys. And I get turn 1, so off we crack. So this general is over here, providing flanking manoeuvres. We push forward in the middle. I am measuring this out of dog range, so that he doesn't come forward and dog my unit, perhaps? No, I think I've messed up this. Now, what did I do? Yes, I did. So I got very confused because what I was measuring between was dog range, which is 4 inches plus 12, right? That's 16. You're welcome. And then we've got 4 inches plus 14, which is, of course, 18, which is the range of these flame belchers. And you will see how I mess up shortly. So I've measured here. You can see there's 12, and I'm measuring 4. What I'm measuring there is the 16. Yeah? 12 plus... No, so what is it? Bloody hell. How fast do flame belchers move? Anyone? Bueller? I think they move 4. Let's have a quick look on the old Mantic Companion while we're here. Dwarves. Flame belchers, I'm glad you asked, move 4. Yes, 4 with a 14-inch range, so 18 inches. So you can see here what I've measured is 12 plus 6, 18 inches. I don't want this unit to be shot by these flame belchers this turn. This is all about, also out of 18. This is also out of 18. All right, that's what I'm measuring here. And then I pop my general here because I forget about this guy. I'm actually measuring 16 out of 16 out of 16. And I forget that I'm not out of 18. And I forget that these guys are rangers. So I put my general, one of my biggest characters, right in the middle of a total volley of 24 shots there and another 15 there. That's a bad move. I just got a bit confused with all the distances, and that's on me. So yeah, so that is some ballistas shooting at this guy. 3 wounds, he's still okay. 2 wounds from the ballista on these rangers, they're okay. Into Gad's turn 1. So he's doing some nice flyer defense here. on this side. So he's looking at 20 inches and 20 inches here. So this guy moves back and turns. He pushes these guys forward, and now I can't jump over because you'll see if I do, I'm going to get generaled. I do look at it and think, oh, maybe I can get in here. No, can't. Forget it. So he moves forward to the flame belcher. He's going to shoot me here. He's going to shoot me here. It's going to be painful. I'm going to cry. He's got a little unit here. And again, some very, very nice placements. So Garrick Heavy Hand is just out of charge. And even if I do somehow manage to charge him, he's going to get, eaten. There is nowhere for that general to land on this side. So more good play here from these guys. Yeah, that's from 7 wounds on my general. 7 wounds in the first turn. That's very, very nasty. I believe that's throwing dogs from the Mastiffs onto him. 3 wounds as well. So don't like that. And there's 3 wounds from Mastiffs there onto these guys. Yeah, and that happened. So the general, unfortunately, he's a 14-16. The captain isn't within rally range, so he's just a 14-16. 7 to 16. He needed 9 twice and rolled it. So, sad times. General down. Very unfortunate. And he wavered my regiment on this side as well. So, great round of shooting from Mo there, turn 1. So, that leaves me like this. What options have I got? So, I can definitely see these war engines with this unit. There's no good charges here because the only charge I can take is this one and it's phalanx. That's terrible and I'm wavered. So what do? I decided I don't like playing with all of this. This is way too much for one general. This general comes over here because A, I've lost my general in the centre. I really need the support. And then I make another mistake. I don't know. I was tired by this point. Played 2 games with Mo, exhausted. So I move my Beast Cavalry into the woods and I back up a little bit with these guys. So I'm not going to play this game. You can shoot me here if you want, but I'm in cover and I'm defense 5. I should be fine. I've got cover here. So I'm just going to play a holding game on this side while I bring my general over. And I push forward with my horde because I need to get onto that center token, which is gone. Walkies. Where's it gone? Let me put it back later. It definitely was there, right? And then I do something silly, which is I put my berserkers up here. So these ones aren't on the hill. These ones are on the hill. And again, I just forget that these guys are rangers. Really not clever. Not good play. I am super hexing. I don't know if I failed to hex. I think I failed to hex a bunch of times. There's some heal going to hit off here. So more wounds there from the bolt thrower. Doing that right at least. So bolt throws onto these guys. And the other bolt thrower smashes it out of the park on them. Don't manage to take them off though. There's a little bit of heal on that general. Do take off that war engine, and that one is wavered. So there you go. Not bad. So the flame belchers are taken down a little bit, which is nice to see. Into Gad's turn 2. What does he do? So he pushes forward a little bit more aggressively. So he can't afford to hang around and let himself be shot by bolt throwers, which is kind of what I want him to do all game. So instead he pushes forward with his Brocks. He holds the back line with his king, and he kind of angles this way to give some phalanx support here. This being wavered is very inconvenient because it stops his shield breakers coming forward, which I'm very glad of. But he has got his Mastiffs coming up on this hill. This token carry unit's just kind of wandering down here, and Garrick's just holding off in the back. So Garrick is really flyer defense in case I decide to try and fly this way. Garrick's here to eat me up. So that's what happens when you leave defense 3 stuff on a hill in clear sight of 2 units of rangers. Yeah, 9 wounds. Ouch. Big ouch. Didn't like it. And that's the flame belcher on them. 1 wound. They don't care. And that's throwing dogs. Yep. 7 wounds. Off of 8 throwing dogs. Sometimes that's what happens. Don't like it though. So yeah. Finally Mo made a mistake after I've been just, messing up the entire game. So he'd moved these shield breakers forward quite a little bit too far, and Garrick was a little bit too far this way, which meant this general could fly 20 that way. Now he is facing the wrong way, like that, but he's into the back line, which is where I want him, and next turn I can be playing where I want. So over he goes. The only thing he can really do is turn Faber and shoot me, I guess, or Bless you. That was my wife sneezing in the background. Or turn these shield breakers all the way around and dog me, but I think that would be unwise. And then I decide I can't be hanging around on this left-hand side at all. So I'm going to have to take care of these Brocks. So the General and my Beast Cab go into the Brocks. I take a hindered charge into this War Machine here. And so obviously he's got his Iron Guard here. They are in the terrain, but no matter what happens, my Beast Cab can't avoid being flanked by them the next turn. So I sacrifice my Wizard, who has not a lot to do, because he hasn't got a lot of spells. He's got Bane Chant and not a lot else. So I just chuck him in front of this Horde. Say, go on then, have a go. You can't charge past me, you're going to have to charge me. These guys hide here because they are very, very hurty, and my captain is just providing rally support everywhere. So trying to make best of a bad business. I do manage to pick up the token, so that's good. Off we crack. Yeah, and so over here we just kind of face off, Phalanx versus Phalanx. His unit is much better than my unit, plus he's got a king, but I'm hoping I can really smash these Brocks and then turn and come over this way to really kind of win this side. Yep, so he's so excited, he's fallen off his base. We took him off, I think, because he didn't fit. You can see he doesn't quite fit. So we kill the Brocks. And turn thusly, really facing down. And we kill the War Engine as well, so good. Everything's going the way we want it to. Hurrah. Turn 3 for the Dwarf. So he takes the King into my Drakon. They're not Drakons, they're Beast Cab. Probably the right thing to do, because I've mispositioned my General. Still just not playing very well. So he can't see this guy, so I can't do anything to him. Plus, a Crush 1 against Defense 6 is poor. So it's not a great move, is it? I can now fly off this way, which I probably will do, but still. Frustrating. He comes into the Wizard, can't do anything else. And this gun is now fine because I missed it last turn. And you see he's brought Faber and Garrick round to try and deal with this General. These guys also come up because they've got throwing dogs to throw, I believe, still. Yeah, and it's really painful. Throwing dogs and Faber, put him up to 8 wounds. But he's okay. Hurrah! He's still facing the wrong way, though, and he's on 8 wounds and has to take another round of shooting before he can hit. Ah, oh, man. Yeah. There's 2 wounds from the Flame Belcher. And, yeah, and he gets wavered. So he's just carked it, isn't he, basically? Frustrating. Frustrating to re-watch. My mistakes being taken advantage of. As he should. Especially after making him play 2 suboptimal games in a row. So yeah, he charges in with some Rangers just to hold me off, I think, with my Horde. Puts him up to 11 wounds, which is pretty tasty. What were they on before? 6. So only 5 wounds, but yeah, didn't like it. And my Wizard dies, as you would expect from a Horde of Ironclad. Hit on 3s. On a turn 4, well, Mo's definitely got the advantage. He's definitely very strong on the right. All of this is his now. I don't have anything. I've got a Bolt Thrower down here. I'm hoping the Bolt Thrower can take this Flame Belcher off because it's really proving very troublesome. Excuse me. This General is going to die, but at least he is distracting all of this for the time being, so that's a blessing in disguise. We hopefully will kill these Rangers on the counter charge. There was a 2 wounds done by his Lord on Large Beast onto my Drakons. I hopefully will get a Bane Chant off. From who? From this guy, maybe. And then my other General will fly over here, or possibly down here, to start wreaking havoc this way. Okay, yeah, that's what he does. So he jumps. So the Captain, who's here, nobly runs into the Horde. He's mighty, so he can hold it off. He might even survive, you never know. So my General can happily jump behind here, because now I'm facing down a very nice way, because I need to be holding people off. Got Fanatics to follow up here. I'm relying on Beast Cab being able to do anything. I think I shoot them rather than the... Why would I do that? That seemed mad. Oh, I know what that is. That's this Bolt Thrower. So the Blister, this Blister has nothing to do. So these 2 Bolt Throwers, Blisters rather, all they can see is all the way over here is Mastiffs. And so we shoot them for lots of wounds. 7, but they don't die. And then we don't do any wounds to that one. You see, it's 5 wounds, and it's still 5 wounds. So, oh, 6 wounds. Let's go! Get a Bane Chant off, which is nice. So we're now wounding of 4. So we take off that War Machine, and we don't take off the Mastiffs, which is somewhat vexing. What's that? That's a flank. So yeah. Apologies, missed that in the retelling there. So this unit of Rangers that came in here, I can still see them, and I've managed to position, for the first time ever, not position myself badly, at least in this game, so I can run forward with this unit and turn to come into the flank, which means I can protect my horde with this unit, which I do, and we kill the Rangers, which is nice. Pulling myself out the fire here, so all these scary units, particularly this very scary unit, is now being held off by these guys, and they have got ensnare, so we might survive. 11 wounds here means they're going to die to a stiff breeze. Same for these guys, 9 wounds, which is why it was so important this Flame Belcher died. And we still Faber though. See, Faber facing the wrong way is great because one shot from Faber will also kill them. And then we double charge. We think, alright, you know, okay, Bulwarker's definitely outmatched me, but I've got 2 tokens, so if I run over here, kill you off, 2 tokens in your half in the clear, that would be good, wouldn't it? So, turn 4 for the Dwarfs. Oh, I don't do any wounds though. 2 wounds, really? Just disappointing, isn't it? That's terrible rolling. It's 30 attacks. This one's on 5s, this one's on 4s. What should that be? Somebody do the maths. I can't be bothered. It should be more than 2, I'm fairly certain. Guess defense 5 though, isn't it? 15 on 4 means, let's say 7 hits. 15 on 5 is going to be 5 hits. 12, and then on 5s. There should be 4. Yeah, so it's half what it should be. There you go. Look at that, maths. I'm so bad at maths. So he double charges those guys in, not unexpectedly. I kind of thought maybe they'll survive. They're both hindered. If you look here, he has to charge these guys in first, because if these guys charge in first, they can't make the charge because they can't. Their turn takes them past the unit. So the shield breakers have to charge in hindered, then the Rangers charge in, and they're into ensnare. So I was kind of felt they might survive this, and we're not doing very well here. Oh dear, excuse me. We did 3 wounds here for the catch, which is great. So they counter charge here, counter charge here. This guy's bonded off. So he counter charges kind of the wounded unit, maybe slightly squishier. Because also, if he doesn't kill them, while it's a flank, it is a hinder flank. So that's smart. And how insulting for this general. How insulting. Yeah. So a front and flank. Rather than shoot him with Faber, which is what I want him to do. Instead, he does charge Garrick in, which is nice, but then he charges his Mastiffs in as well. And he kills him. Eaten to death by kitty cats. So rude. Yeah, and Garrick, massive overrun there. 6 inches. Oh no. Yeah, and they didn't survive. I mean, you know, I think they survived the first nerve check. No, they didn't survive. Obviously, they didn't survive the first nerve check. Because that's not how nerve check works, is it? Anyway, he killed them. Boo. Sad times. But he only wavered my captain. Why doesn't the captain get Indomitable Will? It doesn't make any sense. Everyone else gets it. Anyway. There's some wounds there. I don't really know what's happening with that fight, but it's not going well. So this is how we're looking at turn 5 for the lovely Kingdoms of Men. Not great is how it's looking. So that unit did have a token. I dropped it before I charged, or before I moved rather, when I did the reform. So I've got 1 on my horde here. I've got 1 on my regiment here. Oh, and look, his regiment has killed me here. So he rolled out the box on that side and killed my my unit over there, which means he's got a token over here. So I've got 1, 2. He's got 1, 2, 3. Vexing, and there's 1 here in the middle. There should be another token somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. I guess we'll find out pretty soon. But the tide is turning and looking suspiciously dwarven. I've lost everything on this side. I've got a wavered captain. I have got a horde, but they're on 11 wounds. I've got 1 regiment of fanatics on 9 wounds, and a regiment here on nothing. Beast cav facing off against this lord, and I've got a general winged beast here. So This fight is proving very, very disastrous. I really need to kill the king so I can get the Drakon. So even though they've got phalanx, I just need to get over there. So yeah, he's only on 4 wounds after all this slapping. Got another Bane Chant attempt. I think I fail it. So there we go. Captain backs up. Fanatics go in. These Fanatics walk over onto this token because I send my Horde all this. I drop the token and charge into the Rangers. I need to kill them, otherwise it's flank town. So let's find out. I move my War Engines because they've got nothing to shoot now, and he's got this unit coming down here. If I can kill it, I've got 2 turns of shooting left. Might turn the tide. That's my Bane Chant roll. That's me moaning about dice. Look at that. Bane Chant. And I decide to say he doesn't spot that Faber is a flank here. So I come over, take the bloody, just need to kill Faber. The reason I need to hit Faber is because he shoots, and this 9 wounds unit is carrying a token. Yeah. So not just because I hate Faber, but also because I need him to not shoot. But 5 wounds, so 14 attacks on 3s and 3s. I can't bother to do the maths again. Please don't make me do maths again live. 5 wounds feels low. Maybe it's about right. Anyway, don't do it. See the Drakons. They do. Oh, sorry, Beast Cavalry. They do a lot better this time. But they do 5 wounds, put him on top of the 4. But they still can't kill him, and that is utterly, utterly disastrous for my game. I needed that to come off this turn, and it didn't work. Even worse, that doesn't come off either. So the Rangers don't die. They're wavered into Mo's turn 5. So, yeah, this is going to be really painful for me. He's got a token here. These guys will die. He needs to overrun onto that token to get it, but just needs to kill here. I didn't do any wounds here when I killed, so I just can't quite convert. So, yep, that's happening. Takes the flank onto my Horde. It's just a small reform to get that token now. Count charge there. Count charge there. So 3 wounds, they're okay. 6 wounds, we're okay here as well. We're holding. We're holding. 4 wounds onto my general. He's okay. You can see here the Fanatics, by the way, last turn. Put these guys on 10 wounds, which is definitely not enough. But you wouldn't expect them to do any more. And the countercharge absolutely murdered them. So that's not good. Turn 6, though. And he's overrun. Look how much he's overrun. Right into my captain. And that was a really tactical overrun. Because here my general is here. On the back. I can see the Horde. If he'd have stayed there, I would have rear charged him next turn. As it is, with a massive overrun, absolutely out of my line of sight. Nothing I can do about it. Gutted. Gutted. So he's turned like this with his Horde. They're in my half, which is where he needs them to be. There's this lovely red token here. He might be able to get it here. I might be able to get it here, but he's also got a Horde here. Oh no, what's going to happen? Let's go into my turn 6 and find out. So, we charge in here. Where's the captain gone? The captain's charged down here just to stop them doing anything. We just need them to not be in the game. I'm going to try and bolt throw off this ranger unit. I'm going to try and bolt throw off these cats. No, I'm not. These two ballistas are going to try and shoot this unit off with its token. This ballista is going to try and shoot the rangers off. The captain's holding them. I'm killing this. I'm going to try and kill Faber, but then Garrett's going to kill me, so that's immaterial. This fight's no longer material. I just need to hold on here. So as it stands, I've got 2 points. 2. That's 4. So 4. He's got 2, 4, 5. Right? So closer than it looks. If I do get rid of them, I win. If I get rid of them, I win. That's immaterial. If I somehow get this, I don't know how. That's not going to happen, so that's just not going to happen. Anyway. That's maybe his 8 wounds, right? Yeah. Off we go. Cracking on here. So taking lots of pictures. Yeah. Oh, it's all to play for. That's the most enthusiastic Mo's looked about these games the entire time. He was generally quite happy, I promise. Anyway, so yeah, that's my bolt throw. I'm complaining about dice again, you'll notice. That's my bolt throw rolls, my ballista rolls. So I fail to kill the unit on my side there. I do kill the rangers, which is kind of pointless because it doesn't matter. Captain does some wounds. Go, Captain. We do kill Faber Ironheart. Oh, let's go. Doesn't matter. And then I overrun, which I think is a bad move. I think I was overrunning to stop Garrick's line of sight. Yeah. And that was my thought process at the time. Was I'm on 9 wounds. If Garrick charges me once I kill this unit, I'm doomed. I didn't measure this, but it doesn't look. It might be out of 8. I bet it's in 8. That's why. So by overrunning, I stopped Garrick charging into this unit, killing it, taking my points. Right. I could have turned this way so that I could fly down and get this token. But it's not going to be in his half, so pointless, right? Where if Garrick comes and kills him, that's much worse. So yeah, that's why I did that. Kill that unit, held them off, overrun into Garrick, perfect. I killed the king. I finally killed the king. Finally. And I turned this way because I want to fly and get this token. Because over there, I can't do anything to that phalanx unit. And that's a killer, isn't it? That's just so frustrating. So I've got him up to, what is that, 12, 15 wounds. 15 wounds and I don't roll. I think it's a 22, 24. That ironclad unit. Let's have a look. Ironclad. It's a 22, 24. So getting him up to 15 wounds is A, it's low. And I would have needed a 9 twice. Didn't roll it. So, slightly frustrating. That's game lost for me. And just continuing the slap fight over there, complete garbage. So, yeah, Gad's turn 6. Garrick charges my general. These guys come down in case there's a turn 7. Countercharge. There we go. And a countercharge over there as well. He wavers my general. He kills my regiment, takes the token. Doesn't kill that one. He does kill my captain. And he overruns into my half just to kind of pour some salt into my wound. Cover me in vinegar, why don't you? And so, yeah, that is the end of the game at end of turn 6. So, I think there's turn 7. Is it turn 7? There's no turn 7. Yep, that's the end of the game at turn 6. So, let's examine here. So I get 2 for this. He gets 1 for this. He gets 2 for this. 2 for this. And 2 for this. So a crushing victory. I think actually maybe this one isn't over. So it's 1 for that one. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just get 2. So it ends up a 6-2 victory to the Dwarves. Very well played. Very well played. I didn't play well at all in that game. But I think finally having a list that he was comfortable with definitely made a difference. Dumping the Earth Elementals and getting Flame Belchers and stuff in. So yeah, fantastic game. Loved playing 3 games of Kings of War. What a treat. My wife was like, "Oh, you're getting a treat, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes, I am. I've got a captive man. I can't go anywhere because he's physically living here. He's going to have to play me." Poor guy. Well, it wasn't too bad anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. We saw the sights of Birmingham. There's not many of them, but we saw all of them. And yeah, 3 great games. Really loved it. Hope to see Mo again soon. Maybe we'll get over to Singapore one day to play against him and the other fine people over there in the Asia-Pacific region of Kings of War. Thank you to Gad for being so patient with me and so willing and putting up with British food. And yeah, cool. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next time on Death by Dragons.